What is going on, everyone, and welcome to 24/7 Football. It's been a little while since we did a public video, so we're going to do one today for Sunday's huge Premier League clash between Manchester City and Liverpool. So we're going to be in Manchester and Liverpool today, speaking to both sets of fans and maybe a few neutral fans as well. But we want to know who is going to win on Sunday, what everyone's opinions are for the game that really could decide the Premier League title. Okay, so joined by Manchester City fan Lucas now. Lucas, huge game on Sunday. Firstly, a lot of key players out for Man City. How do you see the game going?
Yeah, well, like you say, we have got a lot of key players out. We have for a lot of the season, to be honest. Laporte's a big miss. I know he's sort of doing a bit of training now, so hopefully he won't be out too much longer. But yeah, I'm under no illusions it's going to be a tough game, but I'm still reasonably confident. We've still got some really good players. We've got a really good squad, and I don't see why we can't go there and win. No
league win at Anfield since 2002. What do you think it is about Anfield that, you know, City might, and other teams to be fair, just crack a little bit under pressure?
Yeah, well, it's a tough ground to go to. The fans are in close. We know what Liverpool fans are like. They're loud, they're boisterous, they make a good atmosphere. So, yeah, it is a tough place to go. Like you say, we've not won there in 16 years, is it? So, it's a long time, but why can't we go and put that record right?
And finally, if Liverpool do win, is the title race over?
Well, it'd go to 9 points. It's a big gap, but I wouldn't say it's over. You look at last season, we were 7-8 points behind with not too long to go this season. We still managed to claw it back. There's a long time to go yet. We're still in November. We're only a few months into the season. There's loads of time left, so it wouldn't be ideal, but I don't see it being over even if we lose on Sunday.
Score prediction and scorers?
Score prediction, I'm going for a 2-1 Manchester City win. I think Sergio Aguero will score, and I think Raheem Sterling will as well.
We good? The sound level's all right? Yeah. All right, so joined by Martin, now huge Man City fan. Martin, arguably the biggest game of the season is on Sunday. You haven't beaten Liverpool since 2003 in the league. How do you think it's going to go?
It's difficult to say. I think we're in for a very unpredictable Premier League this season. I've got a feeling on Sunday it's going to be quite an astonishing game. VAR will definitely play its part. I can see a Man City victory on this one. People are a bit sceptical. Can we do it at Anfield? But I think this time it's on. We can beat Liverpool.
Pep Guardiola and Jurgen Klopp, it's heating up a little bit in the week. You know, they're both going back and forth. They haven't really come to blows, but do you think the rivalry of Liverpool, it's increasing? Do you think it could go over boiling point this weekend?
No, in a word. I think they've got huge respect for each other. I don't think it will go over boiling point. The only thing that will take it over boiling point is probably VAR and referee decisions. The referee will play a vital part this weekend.
VAR, it's the big talking point, isn't it? But in regards to Liverpool, they're playing so well. Sadio Mane in particular, is he the one player that strikes a bit of fear into you for Sunday?
They've got a fantastic team, Liverpool, without a doubt. They're all dangerous right across the board. James Milner could prove to be an important player on the day. It could be anybody at all. And
one thing that we didn't, one thing that City didn't have last year was Kevin De Bruyne at Anfield. How much of a difference is he going to make this Sunday for you?
He's a driving force, isn't he, George? He'll go down the middle. He's not frightened to take 2 or 3 players on. He's the man, if the game's tight with maybe 5 minutes to go, he'll go for it. He'll go for goal, Kevin.
Absolutely. And score prediction, Martin?
It's a weird one from me. Here goes. Liverpool 2, Man City 4.
High scoring game from Martin. Okay, so joined by Francesca now. Fran, Manchester City and Liverpool, notoriously not the biggest of rivals, but that rivalry is increasing as time goes by and this huge competition takes place.
I think more than anything, this rivalry's come about because of how good both teams are. Obviously, in the past, it's always been about Liverpool and Manchester United, and City have always had their biggest rivalry as the noisy neighbours with Manchester United next door. But I think because of how good the two teams are, I think this rivalry's kind of spawned, and then it's like fan against fan, and yeah, it's kind of just spiralled from there.
We talk about you've never won at Anfield since 2003 in the league. Nicholas Anelka scoring on that day. Why do you think it is that City just don't perform at Anfield?
I still
And other teams, I should say.
I still have nightmares about that Riyad Mahrez penalty. I'm not gonna lie, it was a horrible moment. But I don't know what it is. I don't know what it is about going to Anfield. It's like you say, it's notoriously a very, very difficult stadium to go to and to try and win at. And I don't know. It's just one of them that I don't think a lot of fans either can kind of get their heads around. And I don't know. Just fingers crossed something can change on Sunday.
Absolutely. How do you see the game going on Sunday?
That's a tough one. Liverpool are strong, especially with the amount of injuries that we've got at the moment. Liverpool are pretty strong. I think they'll start strong. I think they'll tire slightly, so we might be able to kind of work on that and try and get ahead. But yeah, it'd be nice to think that we can try and take the ball by its horns and kind of just go for it. That'd be nice.
The first time really as well we've seen Guardiola and Klopp really going at each other recently. Do you think it's the first time we could actually see that boiling over face to face?
I don't know, because there's been a few touch and go moments when they've been on the touchline before, and I think it's one of them. It's kind of like it's boiled over from just the fans now, and I don't know. The British media help a lot with trying to get the managers going at each other, but as we've seen in the press this week, Klopp going on about, oh well, I've not told my players that they can't say the word Manchester City. I believe in them, blah blah blah. But I don't know. Maybe depends how the game goes. If it's lots of flying tackles, stupid tackles, I think there could be a bit of a lot of Guardiola arms flailing as he likes to do. But yeah, possibly.
What's the one Liverpool player that scares you?
Do you know what? Recently, and just because he's come back from injury and the fact that he scored against us, Alex Oxlade-Chamberlain, I don't know where he gets it from, but he can just pull some serious goals out of the bag. So yeah, if he starts on Sunday, I'll be a little bit worried. But I don't know. With our defence at the moment, hopefully Stones, possibly Fernandinho or Otamendi, I'm not sure, but yeah, definitely a bit worried about Oxlade-Chamberlain.
I bet every Man City fan just cringed when you said Otamendi at Anfield. But
There's a very good chance, but I don't know, Fernandinho, I think, for me. Yeah, a little bit.
Right, can I get a score prediction from you? I know it's hard.
Oh, I don't know. Obviously, the best thing would want is for a win. I'd love it if we could go there and score 3 and keep a clean sheet. That'd be amazing, but that's not going to happen. I really don't think it's going to happen. So for me, I think it will be 1-1.
Joined by Mickey now in Ashton, who's actually a Burnley fan. But Mickey, huge game between the top two sides. And just firstly, who do you think the better team is?
I think Liverpool this minute, yeah.
Why?
Because we're grinding results. We're not even playing well, but we're grinding results.
Playing like champions, would you say?
Exactly, yeah. And last minute goals. Do you know what I mean? So we just keep going over.
Who would you say their strongest player is?
Mane.
He's a quality player, isn't he? Do you think he's up there as one of the best wingers in the world?
Yeah. Right now, yeah. He's proved it. He's proved it.
It's unbelievable. So how do you see the game going on Sunday? It's at Anfield. City haven't won there since 2003.
I think it'd be a draw.
A draw?
Yeah.
Do you think if Liverpool won the title race, it'd be over? 9 points that gap would be.
We've been in this position before, haven't we? So it could be. I'm not too, maybe, yeah.
What's it like watching from an outsider's point of view? See two teams like that going at it, that 100-point marker every season. It must be unreal.
It's great for the Premier League, isn't it? Do you know what I mean? So, yeah.
And lastly, up the Burnley.
Up the Clarets.
So we've spoken to the people. We've been into Manchester. We're just travelling now to go to Liverpool. We're going to speak to Redmen TV and maybe going to Liverpool after that as well. It's such a huge game, and I just thought I'd give my opinion on it as well. It's massive. As a Man City fan, but I'm unbiased in this video. As a Man City fan, it's absolutely huge for us. It's one of them. 9-point gap. Yes, we clawed it back last season, but that was with a draw at Anfield as well. I just think Liverpool look a bit different this year, different beast. They really want it. Manchester City, we've got a lot of injury problems as well. It's going to be tough. We haven't won there since 2003, which has been mentioned countless times in the video so far. It's going to be incredibly hard. But the only thing that Manchester City have got is they are probably the best team in the Premier League right now. along with Liverpool. So if there's any team that can win away at Anfield, it's going to be Man City. Scared of Sadio Mane, scared of that front three. The midfield is very underrated in my opinion. Fabinho is absolutely immense. But Man City have got Kevin De Bruyne back, something they didn't have at Anfield last year, and he's unbelievable. If there's any team that, like I said, if there's any team that can beat Liverpool at Anfield, it's Man City. I don't know what the score. I think it's going to be a draw. I think it's going to be about 1-1. I think they're both just going to cancel each other out. I think Klopp will take a draw, and to be fair, I think Guardiola will take a draw as well. Liverpool probably will drop a few more points, so will City, and it's a potential title decider if someone gets the 3 points. Liverpool, fair enough, won't be in the position of, you know, losing the title after that game, but psychologically it'll be a massive blow to lose at Anfield to Man City. So there's huge stakes. It's going to be a huge game, and each set of fans are confident. I think the Man City fans is just a little bit of a front because we never win there anyway, but yeah, it's going to be a great game. Can't wait to see it. So, joined by Chris from Redmen. Thank you for hosting us as well. We've been speaking to the fans about, obviously, Sunday's game. And from a Liverpool perspective, how nervous are you?
All the nerves, all of the time. Ever since the last Premier League game, all I was thinking was, we've got a game next week against Manchester City. Obviously, you know, we've got a bit of a cushion right now. There's 6 points in it, but Manchester City are an unbelievable side who got the better of us over the 2 games we played last season. You know, beating us at your place and drawing at our gaff by fine margins. Both games meant that the league title went over to you, didn't it? So it's going to be a massive game for us, and one that I am so nervous for.
We talk about psychology a lot in football now, and that 94th minute winner, if your gap had been cut to 4 points, maybe even 3 points, Aston Villa winner, right. You know, just that 94th minute.
Of them, mate. There's so many of them.
Psychologically, that's huge going into the game, isn't it? When you've preserved your lead, that is what champions do.
I've seen champions do it, yeah. I've seen Manchester United sides do it over and over again, and it's no coincidence. I don't think it's luck that Liverpool do this. I don't think it was luck 2 years ago when Sterling banged one in against Southampton. Late for use was that 2-1, something like that. Yeah. It's not luck. It's you tire teams out and you keep going and you keep going, and you attack just over and over like waves, and eventually, you know, the tide gets to it and they succumb to it, and that's what Liverpool have been doing. Everything that we do in the first half, pulling players, Man City exactly, they pull players all over the place. Come second half, they're knackered. They're knackered and they're on their arse, and that's what Liverpool have been doing time and time again. And there's a belief in this Liverpool side that you just don't give up, because to beat Manchester City to a league title, you can't give up. You can never take a minute off during a game of football, and we recognise that, and we know that games are longer than 90 minutes, and we'll play until the final whistle.
We've seen with football, when greatness plays greatness, there's going to be a rivalry there, isn't there? But Liverpool and City have never really had that big rivalry, but Guardiola and Klopp just nibbling at each other a bit. Do you think this is the Sunday, the game, that it could boil over?
I don't think so, if I'm honest. I think, you know, Pep likes a little snipe when Klopp's not around. Klopp's a big guy, you know. If I was Pep, I wouldn't be going in on Jurgen. Like, he's huge. He's massive, mate. So I think it's fine when he's got a few cameras in his face and Jurgen's not in the room and stuff. Listen, those rivalry, that rivalry has been going on a long time. It's been, you know, Jurgen's got a really good record against Guardiola. In fact, I think going back through your Dortmund, your Munich, your Liverpool, your City results, Jurgen's probably got slightly the better of Pep Guardiola on his side, and the resources that Pep's had. I think Jurgen's done a fantastic job. But what we saw last season, and we look at the recent games, is that Guardiola came up with a different game plan last season. He wanted to use the wings. He didn't want to play through the centre like Manchester City normally do. And he was looking at it going, well, if we lose the ball out there, we're okay. Because Liverpool can't get the player to Firmino dead quickly, and then they'll bring in Mane and that. So that I expect that Manchester City will do that. It's not a game plan that we'd seen often when Guardiola brought it in, but we saw it against Bayern Munich when they came to Anfield, and Napoli, I think, as well. And I think that's where he took the ideas from and grow. Now Liverpool have got to see, now they've seen that game plan twice, not able to get a win, it's now for Jurgen to change things up and see if he can combat Guardiola's game plan. So it's going to be really interesting, really technical, really tactical, and I think it's all made better by the fact that, you know, there's so much riding on this even so early on in the season.
It's a neutral fan's dream, not if you're a part of the game though. Going into the game, City with a lot of players out, are you confident? How do you see the game going?
I think, listen, I wouldn't say that I'm massively confident going into the game. I think, Manchester City can beat any team in world football on the day, such as the level of their players, such as how just well drilled they are and well coached that they are. And, we've seen Manchester City take the ball off Liverpool for huge periods of game. I was in the Etihad a couple of years ago in the Champions League. And that was one of the most nerve-wracking 45 minutes of my life. And my wife's had 2 kids and I've been in the room, mate. And that 45 minutes against City was well worse than being down the cop end when my daughters were getting born, you know what I mean? So it's difficult. But, look, I do think Liverpool will sneak it. I don't think it's going to be easy. And I think Liverpool might sneak it because I think Pep will believe that a draw is a good result. And I think Jürgen doesn't anymore, because I think Jürgen last season thought, when we played Manchester United, when we played Everton, we got those draws, he thought that City would drop points and draws would end up being good results. And as it turned out, draws ended up, costing us 4 points over the course of those 2 games. Now I think Jürgen's going for the throat every single game. We're playing sides and we're drawing 1-1 and we're having 4 forwards on. That's not something Jürgen normally did. He didn't do that last season. He'd bring on players to hold it up, maybe just keep a point. Now he's going for 3 because he knows to beat Manchester City, you can't take draws. You've got to get those 3 points. So I think Jürgen will do that. And I think Guardiola will think, get a draw here, we'll get a win at the Etihad, and that will probably see us through.
Like last season, but can you just get a quick score prediction?
Yeah. 3-1. Not really Liverpool just sneaking it, but...
Liverpool are going to
okay, 3-1.
3-1.
Fernandinho to get sent off.
So, we've got Ross on now. A 24/7 video, where are you on? Who would have thought it? Anytime I need some views, I come and get Ross. So, Ross, share this on Redmen TV. But huge game, huge. I couldn't do this video without coming to you, Ross, because it's such a huge game and it's potentially title deciding. But City haven't won there since 2003. What I wanted to talk about with you was, Ross, why do you think City can't play at Anfield? And to be fair, not just loads of teams can't play at Anfield. What is it that makes Anfield so special?
I think in the past couple of years, without going into too depth on it, of obviously creating that atmosphere, and I'm not going to slander City for what people think on Twitter and social media about them, but I think it plays a role. I know they got in trouble for it in the build-up to the Champions League game of doing stuff that some people shouldn't have done, and it was a minority of people, but it gets into the players' heads, that atmosphere, the roar behind it and getting behind them. I think it gives our players extra 10%, and I don't think at certain times City knew how to deal with it. But I think you've taken that blueprint, not necessarily just from us, but I think you've seen how it works. And I actually, before off camera, the game that you did, it was when you played us last season. And I credit to you, like, your fans were incredible when you played us last season, and it probably had an effect on our players. It just works in your favour. I think there's times where I think we've been used to it, where we've been down before, and we talk about European nights at Anfield have been historic, and I could name Olympiacos, Istanbul, and all that sort of stuff. We've been in positions where I think we kind of know, we've been through years of knowing getting behind your team has a significance in the outcome of a game. And I know it sounds pretty simple, but I think it does. Whereas, and again, it's not a dig at City. You come through ranks of lower divisions and stuff, you've not really had that atmosphere or bigger games as that. It's obviously relatively new in the space of 10, 15 years since you're undertaken over.
I'd say, to be honest, I'd say lower divisions, the atmosphere is brilliant. I think once you get a higher stature of football, you get more fans coming through.
But those in the divisions that were in there before were the lifeblood of your club. Exactly. Whereas now, I'm not implying that you bought fans at all, but you're getting a bigger following from fans that won't have had that core group of lower division football and where you've been before. Yeah. So whereas those core fans have grown up with all that, whereas now you're getting people that they want to see some of the best footballers in the Premier League, or your De Bruyne's, your Silvas and all that, and Agueros, they're going for the spectacle of watching the football team. From my point of view, not necessarily doing that, but I think you're learning to be able to go and do that. And I think having been to Anfield and seeing what it can do, I think City are equally as good at doing it now.
We talk about the game. Are you nervous? It's huge.
No, you can't, can you? I think you get torn between. It's a very fine line between confidence and arrogance. Obviously, Liverpool are 6 points clear at the minute. It would be lovely to go 9. City, you've got your injury problems. I don't think your defence has been very good. Obviously, is it Wolves and Norwich that you've lost to so far this season?
Yeah.
Premier League, whereas Liverpool haven't lost at all. And to be fair,
Only lost once last season, though, didn't you?
yeah, okay, sure. And it's no, you're right. No, you're right. And in the end, that was to decide. It was only 1 point in between it. We decided to go win the Champions League instead. But you can't be too arrogant going to Manchester City. You've got the quality of players, and it's without having to dig again about how much money you spent. You've got depth and quality. You look at your bench of fullbacks that you've got, your options that you've got. I think obviously Aguero's always going to be dangerous. He might not have the ball for 70 odd minutes, but then he gets one chance, and he'll take it. That's what he did when we played at the Etihad last season and stuff like that. It's a tough one to call. I'd love to go 9 points ahead. Liverpool are in a really good position in the sense of we're getting likes of Chamberlain coming back into form. Joe Gomez is playing a bit more. We've got different options. I don't think necessarily Liverpool are just push your full-backs up and whatever. I think we've got things that can hurt you, but at the same time I can't go out and say it's an easy 3 points to Liverpool, because it'd be stupid, wouldn't it?
If it is 3 points for Liverpool, is the title over?
No. It's not. Don't look at me like that. It's not. It's November still. Nothing's decided in November. Loads of things can happen. You've been unfortunate with the injuries to the likes of Laporte and players like that. Anything can happen to Liverpool. God forbid, like Van Dijk. Yeah. Van Dijk gets injured for a month or so. I think what you can say for Liverpool fans is lacking depth in the front three. Obviously, Divock Origi turns up in the last minute of some games to rescue us 3 points and stuff like that. But the drop off that we got in those front three, we'll just lose one of them. They don't seem to gel. If one of them is missing, so Firmino's not missing, it doesn't seem to click as much, but they're both still dangerous. It only takes a couple of 9 points isn't a lot. And again, it happened last season. I was saying Liverpool bottom of the league. I don't think it's necessarily a bottom of the league. I think it's just the way that things panned out. You look at the fixture congestion that Liverpool have got. I'm not making excuses for us already, but the Carabao Cup, the World Cup Championships, on top of everything else that we've got, that all plays a role further into in November. If you're 9 points clear, you can't say it's done, because so much can happen when there's 4 or 5 months of football left.
Yeah, I was just saying to Chris, it's greatness against greatness, isn't it? And anything can happen. But going into the game, what City players scare you?
Aguero, Sané, but he's injured. I'm quite well. I don't know how to say happy about it, but quite fortunate that he's not playing, shall I say?
Yeah, what a player!
Yeah, no, he's an incredible player. De Bruyne, the Silvas, Sterling, obviously. Just going forward, I think you've got at the back, which I know is a concern for you as well. But again, you can't be too arrogant. But City always provide an attacking threat. I think some of the football that you play, some of the goals that you scored already this season is just absolutely ridiculous. I expect all our players to be on the ball this season, and I don't you be able to tell me more. I'm enjoying a team coming out, because you must have this as well, of actually coming out and playing you. Whereas a lot of teams that we've played, a lot of teams, they're part of the bus, and it's frustrating because you have to try and find different ways to win. Obviously, I mentioned Aston Villa before, popping up with last minute winners. I like watching Liverpool play attacking football. That game at the Etihad last season was just one of the best games of football I've ever seen, and we lost. And I was like, I had to sit down afterwards and go, Jesus Christ, that was a really good game of football, because there's two teams, as you just said, greatness against greatness, with some of the best players in the Premier League just going at it at each other. That's what I want to see.
Yeah, like you say, both teams going at it. Unbelievable game. Obviously, finally, we go back to both teams coming in off the back of impressive wins over lesser opposition, but confidence-boosting wins. We talk about Sadio Mane, 94th minute. When we've been speaking to the Man City fans, they say Sadio is the one that they are scared of. And just how good is it to have him on your team?
Yeah, it's incredible. It's difficult because he's popping up with all the goals, and it's not the first time he's done it this season. I think Southampton away, I think he popped up with one. He's done it in the Champions League. He's always looking to create. He doesn't give up, and he'll just tire someone out. He's got really good link-up play with Robertson at the left, but also he's Salah's been quiet, but in terms of his own high standards. But we saw again last night when we played Genk. We didn't have a bad game. Or he didn't get the score sheet, he didn't get an assist. But when he loses the ball, he's got 3 people around him. So Man City or any team can't do that. It's all right trying to mark Salah out the game, but then you've got to worry about Mane. He's getting more time because everyone's marking Salah or everyone's on Firmino. And if you leave one of them, you can't do that. And if you mark all them 3, then you've got Robertson and Trent coming around the back. And then we're trying to adapt, I think, a little bit with the likes of Chamberlain and Keita coming back in as well. So if you're marking Robertson, Trent, Mane, Salah, and Firmino, well, then you just got Alex Chamberlain coming at you as well. Or he won't be fit, but Joel Matip as well is just a course of just doing mad runs past 4 or 5 people. So we've got attacking threat. But on Sadio Mane, he's world class. I know there's a clip from one of the lads that does a bit after us in post match. It's done around a couple of years ago.
Best player in the world.
Best player in the world. He's not wrong. He's in contention for the Ballon d'Or. A few other Liverpool players are in a shout for it. But I think his form his attitude, and the likes of thing like when we played Burnley, like he was annoyed that he didn't get set up for another goal when we were 3-0 up and he got taken off. That's the mentality that we need to have at Liverpool now, because he wants to win stuff.
Finally, score prediction, Ross.
2-1. For some reason, we just can't keep a clean sheet, and for some reason, we keep winning 2-1 in recent weeks. I think it'll be a tight game, obviously going to favour Liverpool. I do think City need to go out and play, because I think you need the win. In being honest, psychologically, mentally, going into a busy fixture period of games, trying to play catch up, and obviously, what you go down to 3 points, or it could be 9, or a draw will probably suit us as well. But I'm going to go 2-1.
That is the end of the video. I hope you've all enjoyed everyone's points of view. It's going to be a huge game, and despite what everyone says, we can all know it's pretty much title deciding. Whether Man City win the game or lose the game, 9 points is a huge advantage to claw back. So thank you to everyone who took part in the video today. A big thanks to Redmen TV, Chris and Ross, for not only coming on but facilitating us as well. It was brilliant. We were going to go to Liverpool, but their points were fantastic at Redmen, and the weather was terrible, so we thought we better not bother anyone. We'll just leave it at that. But it's going to be a fantastic game. I hope you've all enjoyed it. Another public video for us to do. I know we've been doing a lot of FIFA stuff, so check out our other videos as well. Subscribe to the channel if you enjoyed the video. Like the video. It means a massive amount to us. Keep an eye out for the latest content that we are going to be putting out there. Once again, please subscribe to the channel. Check out 247football.com, our website. The latest footballing articles on there. And thank you everyone for watching again. We will see you next time.